Welcome to the Daily Dish with New York Times bestselling author Leanne Ely. Putting vibrancy back into your everyday life and feeding your heart, mind, body, and soul. Join us every day at 1 p.m. Eastern for Motivational Monday, Tuesday's Tip, Wise Woman's Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Food Fight Friday, and of course Q&A, where no question is off limits, and Soulful Saturday. Here is your host, Leanne Ely, and the Daily Dish.
It's time, y'all. Come on in. It's time to get busy. We've got a Thirsty Thursday to take care of, and today we're going to be talking about fear. A little bit. Actually, we're going to be looking for ways to actively deactivate fear. We're going to talk about that because you know what? A lot of us live like that. Have you noticed that? That little fear factor, it creeps in. Mary Ann's in the house. And there's my girl Carla in cold Kentucky, I'm gonna guess. It's chilly out there, and to all of you who are in Texas, if you even have the ability to see this, for all of you who are being hit by this cold, really thoughts and prayers are with you, because we know exactly what it's like to be without power. We used to get that all the time. Hello, Jama, and hello, Helen. Catherine's in the house. Yeah, because we used to do that. We finally bought a generator, and it's made all the difference in the world. Praying that that's not going to happen this time, but it happens, and when the water goes out, boy, that's just real awful. So anyway, we're glad you're here, really glad you're here. This is the Daily Dish Show, by the way, where we bring you back to your vibrancy, heart, mind, body, and soul. You ready for that? That's what we do. There's my girl Lucy, and I see Trisha too. So good to see you all. And Eileen and Sandy, thanks so much for showing up. I never take it for granted, y'all. Never. Every time I see you, I'm so thrilled to see you because you're my community, and this means a whole heck of a lot. Say hello to Amber. She's in the house. Also, Jenny. Jenny's back there. She's tip-tapping away. She just hasn't stuck her head up yet. She will. You watch. She's there. I know Jenny. So we always start out, as you know it, we always start out with our quote of the week, and this will be changing on Saturday, okay? So just get this one. No pressure, no diamonds. Because we're all diamonds in the rough. And you know how we become that shiny, beautiful, sparkling diamond? By allowing the pressure to do its work. Instead of pushing back, instead of always trying to live this no anxiety lifestyle, what do we get with that? We don't get any resilience out of that, do we? I don't think so. Not that we want it all the time, but when it's there, just say, okay, so what's there? What do I have to do here? How do I now live my life? There's Denise. Good to see you. Anyway, so many things today. Have you seen the new website? I'm just asking for a friend. No, I'm asking for me. Have you seen our new website? And just ask Jenny, ask everybody. Do you know how well this website works now? It is like so fast, so furious. There's my girl Sarah and Jennifer. Hello, good to see you. It's just crazy. We are loving the new site. We are loving the dynamic of the whole thing. There's Noreen. Y'all, we need this. We needed this in our life a while ago. There's Jackie. Hi, Jackie. And Amy's in the house. So when we have, when we have things that are working for us, it's not working against us. Hi, Kimberly. That is a big freaking deal. It's a great, big, huge deal because for us, one of the things that we spent a lot of time on was fixing problems. The new website has fixed a lot of this. And thank you so much for all of your support, for checking it out and giving us your feedback. We really appreciate it. There's my girl Terry. I always love to see Terry hanging out here. So anyway, check it out. Go to savingdinner.com, and you can also sign up, I believe, for the newsletter on that. We're going to be changing new email providers as well. Everything is on the chopping block right now, and we've got a fabulous new team who's really helping us to do all the good things. Hey, Margot. Glad you're here. And Michelle. So I want to tell you right now, because one of the things that we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about, of course, getting rid of fear. My goodness, have you been successful in that? Hi, Susan. Have you been successful in getting rid of fear? I haven't. Just not going to tell you. There's Angie. The reason we are not absolutely 100% good at taking care of fear is because oftentimes it creeps in and lands itself right in the middle of something that we don't even recognize as being fearful. We are talking about that today. We're talking about that today because it's crucial. There's Yvonne, and I see Lizzie as well. And I know I've missed a whole bunch of you. This chat is going really fast today. But anyway, we're going to be talking about all of that today because I think this is one of the pieces of the puzzle. Because what are we here to do, right? We're here to live on purpose and to help others, but we're also here to figure out our own way. And it is all highly customizable. My way is going to look different than yours. Your way is going to look different than mine. But the thinking's basically the same. Our thinking is the same. And it's just figuring out how to move our puzzle pieces and all of that. And what I always say is we got to get the edges in first. You know, that's what we do when we're putting a puzzle together. And the edges are the big things, because if we get the edges in and our framework, if you will, for our lives, then we have the ability to absolutely move the needle in our lives and to change things up. Because we have that framework. It's very comforting and secure having a framework. I'll talk about it. So one of the things too we will be talking about this is our environment. I mean, setting up an environment that supports you instead of tears you down, instead of just causes you stumbling along the way, is everything. What you see is what you take in. So I have this quote deck that we have, and here is mine. Look at that. Part of courage is simple consistency, and I have not changed my quote because I need this daily. I need this because consistency is my word of the year. And so I can find other quotes too and hang them all over my house if I want to. So I could put this in the car, I can put this in my bathroom, I can put it next to my pillow if I want to. And here's one. The question is, did you fail? It's, did you pick yourself up and move ahead? Thank you, Joe Lewis. How about this one? The most creative act you will ever undertake is the act of creating yourself. Wait a minute, got one more. Oh, who you are shows up in what you do, not what you say. That's me. I quoted myself. That's kind of creepy, right? One more. You can be pitiful or you can be powerful, but you can't be both. Oh, stop that right there. These, with the little wooden stands that I just showed you, have the ability to change your life. We take these things and unconsciously they're doing the work. So I invite you to go take a peek-see at them, okay? savingdinner.com/quote. Okay? That's what we got. Let's see what else. Oh. Okay. Go away, Siri. Siri's in the middle of my show right now. Go, Siri. Sometimes I curse her out. Have you ever done that? Yeah, she's just a pain. All right. Mugs are back in the shop. Check them out. There's a whole explanation what this mug does. It's not just that it's cool with a great quote on it. It's that it's a trigger to help us to do the next right thing. Like when we're having dinner, to be able to say no to the pasta instead, cozy up to the something else, right? To cozy up to something else. We need to constantly be reminding ourselves of the habits we want to create and the vibrant lifestyle that we want to have as our life. These are tools for that. Check it out at savingdinner.com/mug. Read the post, and there's 3 different ways that you can get it. That's what I'm talking about. Also, we have, and I'm gonna go whop like this. You see these 5 supplements. 5 supplements that's gonna help you get your immunity up. We're still in the middle of flu season. We're still in the middle of colds and all kinds of stuff. It's still winter outside. Do I need to tell you that? You know that, right? These supplements have been proven by the science to be the needle movers to help your innate immune system. You want to find out about them? Go to savingdinner.com/show. If you buy 2 sets of them, we'll give you a 3rd one for free. That's an amazing deal, by the way. An amazing deal. And we'll ship it to you free. You can find it at this link, savingdinner.com/show. That's where we hide the good stuff. Every single week, we hide the good stuff there. And by the way, I just checked my questions for tomorrow. Do you know I do not have a single question for tomorrow's Q&A? It's my fault. I haven't told you all week about it. But go to go ahead and send a ticket into support at savingdinner.com. Question for Leanne on Friday, and I will answer it tomorrow. And if we don't have questions in there, I'm going to do some kind of interpretive dance, or maybe I'll sing for you. We shall see. Because I don't have a show planned for tomorrow. I could do my comedy special. I don't know. I can show you some crazy hand gestures. I don't know. But I need questions. So send them in, would you? You don't want interpretive dance. No, you do not. Say no to that. So support at savingdinner.com. Yeah, question for Leanne on Friday. That's right. Exactly. That's what you need to do. And I will get that. Lastly, our food addiction webinar was like a huge hit. Huge hit. If you haven't seen it yet, go see it now. savingdinner.com/freedom. Because this is what it's about. It's about getting free from the things that have held us back from that vibrant lifestyle. You know, we can't be vibrant when we're hooked on a bad behavior or we're hooked on food. We can't. Vibrancy eludes us. And because that's what fills our mind, is our next fix, the thought process that goes along with it, and we are preoccupied with all of this stuff. I don't want that for you. savingdinner.com/freedom. I will share my journey with you. I'll share things that work. And I promise you, this is the stuff that moves the needle. This is this would be really good. Somebody's happily recommending a cooking segment. A cooking segment. Tomorrow, no, not in my kitchen. My kitchen is halfway ripped up and getting ready for the next thing, And we've got to get it done by the middle of March because we're going to be doing all kinds of stuff. There's Juanita. I see you, Juanita. So today, did I tell you everything? I did, right? Mindful mug, blah, blah, blah. Yep, I told you all the stuff. You ready to get down to business? Are you ready to lose the negativity that you don't even know is there sometimes? Because sometimes it is. I wrote this in my journal yesterday, and I'm going to bring it here, even though, and I just want you to write it down and ponder it, because this is a ponderer type of a thing. This came to me in my meditation. Pretending is ignorance playing dress up, is what I wrote. And I think there's a lot to be said about this, and I might be unpacking this a little bit on Soulful Saturday. I don't know. I haven't determined what Soulful Saturday is going to be about, but I think oftentimes what we do is we pretend that everything is A-okay, and it's like playing dress up and putting on, like when you were 6 years old, and putting on a dress and a little crown and saying, hey, I'm a princess. You're not really a princess, but you can pretend to be one. But in the real world, that's not going to translate. It's cute when you're 6, but it's not cute when you're, a 35-year-old woman, for example. So when we are pretending, we're being ignorant, purposely, I believe, to the reality of what's going on in our lives. Think about that. I'm just going to drop that little truth bomb right there, because this is something that I have had a look at just with my own life and with everything, because I am, stupidly optimistic at times, and maybe to the point of pretending, and that's not a helpful thing. Pretending isn't helpful. Fake it till you make it is different than pretending. Pretending is just making up your own little world of what's not true necessarily. Maybe taking an element of truth here and an element of truth there. Isn't that what the media does to us all the time? They, handpick things. I want the truth. I want the truth of what is going on in my life, and I want to live that way, without the pretending, without the ignorance, and instead living a life that's based on truth, it's based on reality, and it's based on the fact that I know that I can shift my mindset. I can shift things that I think about. I can shift my vibrancy at any time I make a decision to do so. Pretending won't get me there. Truth bomb, just dropping it. Anyway, I was looking at what we've been talking about all week. We started this Monday. We started with this the whole thing on mindset, and that you can have a growth mindset or you can have a set mindset, and the difference are night and day. When you have it's growth and what is it? Not a fixed mindset. Sorry. But when you have a fixed mindset, you're not going anywhere. Think stuck. Think stuck when you think fixed mindset, because it is. It's offering zero options. Whereas a growth mindset asks a lot of questions, triggers creativity and curiosity, and makes you start to be solution oriented. Because if we have solutions, if we start being solution oriented, we can start figuring things out. And we could do it with kind of groupthink a little bit, by saying to our communities, hey, I'm stuck with this, got any ideas? And I think the difference between saying, hey, help me out, versus, hey, does anybody else feel like this? There's a difference between that, because when you're asking for people to commiserate with you, instead of asking for people to help you with something that you might be stuck with, there's a big difference, because we don't need commiseration. We commiserate with ourselves all day long. What we need is new ideas to move the needle. Amen to that? That's how I look at it. Our minds are gathering 11 bits of information every single second. What do you think that does to your brain? What do you think that does? That is an overwhelming amount of information, especially in the digital age. That's where we are right now. Think about it. How many social media, networks are there out there? How much Google can you Google, right? How much stuff is out there? And then you've got your television with 8 million channels and 24/7. Do you remember the olden days when the TV used to go off and they had the picture? It was like an Indian chief picture, and then it just went beep, and that was it, done. TV was off for the night. Well, it's not like that anymore. It's just constant bombardment. We handle a lot of stuff. We handle a lot of information, right? So we have to, we have to just, first of all, number one is we have to know, there's a lot coming at us. And number two is we've got to take this information and sort it. That's what our brains do. That's what our brains do. So I look at it like we have a big sieve, like got to let the good stuff through and hold back that bad stuff that has no meaning really for us. It's just going to take us down a wrong path. And I think about the rocks, like the big rocks in our lives, events that happened, things that have held us back, whatever they are. And if we let the rocks through, that's going to take up a whole lot of room in our brains, and not let all the good stuff through. Do you see where I'm going with all of this? That's what happens. So we've got to figure out what's critical for right now, for the life that we want to lead, forward thinking, and also presently in today, versus stuff that's just, past information, just places where we go to get stuck. A lot of times it's living in the past, which hasn't done us a whole lot of good. We know that. That's why we talk about the experience file. It's important to extrapolate the experience from the past and use that to develop techniques and skills and a mindset so that we can handle the future, so that we can move forward beyond and past, so we don't repeat it, So we don't repeat. Why do we want to repeat it? Why do we want to live our lives on repeat? And yet we do that. We have Groundhog Day every single day, and it's just constantly. If we take out the experience and we use that as our framework for learning from and moving forward, we do. But it is a conscious decision to do this. It's a conscious decision to say, I don't want to live my life like this all over again, getting on that hamster wheel of negativity. I want to instead get the experience and move on. This is why we unplug from the emotional upheaval of all of that and go forward this way. It makes all the difference in the world. So because we're created for survival, that's what we are created here, and then we're given this thing called the amygdala, which really is the fear center of our brain, which is every single day it's part of the monkey brain, by the way. It's part of the first thing that you do. It's knee-jerk reactions to stuff, and it's checking out and assessing, is this going to threaten our survival? Is this a risk that she's thinking about doing? Oh, I don't know about that. We need to go back to what it is that we know, regardless of how negative it can be, regardless of how damaging it could be, regardless. And the reason why this happens is because it's a known factor. Just because you want it out doesn't mean your brain's going to cooperate with that, right? And I'm not saying that to discourage anyone. I'm saying that to get you to the place of awareness, because with awareness, we understand that we're dealing with, basically an evolutionary process of what's going on in our brains. But we can change it at any time. So our brains are actively searching for fear. We live in fear factor. That's natural, but it's not helpful. It's not going to get us the growth that we want in our lives. It's not going to help us to get past the stuff that we want to get past. It's not going to promote anything that we want. It is the antithesis of what vibrancy is. So how do we get past that? That's what we need to do. Because the studies say, get this is interesting. Studies say we need to beat this tendency with a ratio of 9-to-1. So you're going to get 9 negative thoughts to 1 positive thought. That's depressing, right? I know. But we have to purposely set up to battle that. That's our battleground right there. At least the enemy is known, right? That's what I say. The enemy is known. So here's how we do it. We've got 5 things. You ready? Actually, really 6. It's 5 things. I've got these things for you because I have done the research on this and pulled it out. Because if we're all in this together, struggling with the same stuff, fighting the same enemy, understanding that it's coming, the enemy's inside the house, right? It's like the babysitter movies, with like, where's the call coming from? It's in the house. I mean, this is what we need to know. The babysitter is, the enemy is in the house. Enemy's in the house. So the first thing we need to do, it's our thoughts. We've got to monitor them. We don't give them free rein. We don't allow them to just do whatever they want. It's like when you take the dog out, you're going to let the dog out into the yard because the dog has boundaries. Boundaries are good. Boundaries keep the dog in the fence. It keeps the neighbors happy. It keeps everyone happy, including the dog. There's enough freedom there so he can do his thing. He's got a place to go, everything. But if you just let that dog out and go wandering, you are taking, how many chances are you taking? You're taking a chance the dog can get run over by a car, somebody could pick it up, or that the dog's gonna impregnate your neighbor's dog, or something. We just let it go. And this is what we do with our thoughts a lot. We just let our thoughts go and have wild access to our entire lives instead of reeling them in, instead of putting a boundary around it. So a boundary is the thing that's going to save your thought process. A boundary is going to help you with that. So if we monitor and discard the stuff that we don't want, it's like going fishing. That's another really good one. So we live on a little lake, and on a lake, there's right there by the dock, the big public dock, public dock, whatever, the big dock where people come in and launch their boats and what have you. There's a big sign that says what you catch and release for these fish. You can keep them up to this many inches, and these are the different types of fish that are in this lake. It's the same thing with your thoughts. These are the different types of thoughts that are in your mind. These are the ones you want to keep. These are the ones you want to discard. So as they come in, be aware. It's habitual, yes, but you can be aware if you just turn on the awareness and just say, I'm going to be aware of my thoughts. This is why we journal, because we can dump a lot of that stuff in there and say, I'm done with this pattern. Here's the thing that I've seen. This is the stuff that I don't want. And then you flip it by putting a line down the paper, and on the other side, this is what I'm going to do instead. All of these things help us to build the life that we want. It creates the vibrancy. It creates the vibrancy by getting us off of automatic pilot, which is fabulous, by the way, fabulous for what? Cleaning a toilet, doing the laundry, making your bed. Things that we want on automatic pilot, keep them. But when you want to purposely live your life and you are purposely looking for vibrancy, you got to be all in, because your thoughts will really, I promise you, try to take you down. And your amygdala is looking for fear. Looking for fear. And what do we talk about? We want evidence to support the life that we want to live. Like when you're out looking at cars and you see the red Prius, for example, and suddenly they're there all the time. Look for different evidence when your brain starts to look for fear. No, start looking for the things that are right. Start looking for the things that light you up. This is why we set up our environments for success, because our environments are telling us the things we need to hear. Our environments are telling us that part of courage is simple consistency. Be consistent, Leanne. That's what this is telling me. Yes, okay. Underscore that. Underscore that. This is my new habit. This is my new life. This is what I want in my life. There it is, looking at me every single day to the left of my computer screen. I need that. You need that. This is why we do these things. And then I'm drinking my coffee. Oh my goodness, look at that. Don't get mad about the results you didn't earn from the work you didn't do. I need that. I need that. And I also need to remind myself that I need to be mindful with my meal, because being mindful with my meal instead of automatic piloting it is going to get me to the place where I'm doing a deliberate plate with the target trifecta in mind: protein, fat, good healthy fat, and fiber in the form of green. And that way I can start becoming an intuitive eater instead of being on all these plans. What about that? That's what we want. That's freedom right there. That's what we want. We set up our environment for success. That's number 2. Successful environments. It's everything. And it beats willpower every time. I promise you. Because then it's not hard. It's easy. It's just we know exactly what to do. We know what's in the pantry. And anything that's in the pantry that we don't want to put into our bodies, but our 14-year-old son wants to eat the whole sleeve of Oreos or whatever, we have a sticky note on that package reminding us of what our goals are. Reminding us of, instead of going back to the old stuff, we're going ahead to the new stuff. Like this, constant. We need that. That's how we build that bridge from what is to what we want. We are the carpenters. We've got the hammer and nails. We've got the wood. We've got all the goods. I can't do it for you, but I can certainly give you the instructions. I can certainly tell you how to build it. I've got the blueprint. It's flipping your thoughts. It's being in the weeds daily. It's setting up your environment. It's understanding these things are going to come, but we can flip them. It's understanding that you can go forward and you can be the queen of your own life. The queen. Not just, hoping that you're going to get it together. The queen. You rule over that entire life. Number 3 is a gratitude practice. I want you to hear me on this, because this has the ability to grow your soul, to grow your life, to grow your empathy, and to grow your relationships with everything from food to people to your spouse to the cashier at the grocery store. If you have a gratitude core, by practicing gratitude every day, by writing it down, by meditating on things that you're thankful for, your mind flips. You flick a switch that can't go off. You can't dim that light. This is how we connect with God. This is our God core, I believe, because the beautiful self, that's our soul, contains the empathy that we all want in this world. We want people to have empathy for us, and we want to also dish out a ton of it. Empathy is beautiful and necessary and very missing in our society. But if we are a part of the solution, we can see the greater good. We can see the love that that just comes naturally, because empathy was there first, laying the groundwork. Write down your gratitudes. It doesn't mean that that's the only gratitude that you're going to concentrate on for the day, but at least start. That's what we do with the Take Back Your Life journal. We start the day with 3 gratitudes, 3 things. It could be hot water. It could be a mindful mug. It could be the fact that you got up on this beautiful day, or that it's raining outside and the plants are getting, I don't care what it is, but just click that switch. That is an up level. And it's not part of the amygdala, by the way. It is an evolved way of thinking. It is using the prefrontal cortex and the hippocampus, and it's creating a higher level of self. And we can do that at any time. It's just a matter of making that decision to do so and putting it into practice. Practice is what makes the pianist a master. practice. Then there's number 4, there's calm. Come on. We got to bring the calm into the arrangement here, because there's body chemicals involved. You know, we've heard of dopamine and serotonin, all of that. We can bring that all in. It calms us down. Doing that instead of food, hello? Yes? Amen? You know, we don't need to be jonesing for our next addiction if we simply understand that we can bring the calm anytime. It's all a matter of meditation. 15 minutes of meditation. You can find free meditations, unguided or guided, anywhere. YouTube's great, whatever. It makes all the difference. When you make that kind of a difference, you move the needle in your life. You do. And you've got a core then. You've got a core. You're settled. You're into this place. You've got a new landing place. The uneven floor has been evened out, and the calm is there. So it's intentional. Meditation is intentional, and it also shifts your perspective, because now you're not operating off of cortisol and in anxiety crazy land. You are instead calm. You're deliberate. You're practiced. You are in your life instead of just hoping somehow it's all going to come together. Because hope hasn't done a whole lot. It's wonderful to be hopeful, but it also needs to be practical. There are things you have to do, and that's what we're talking about today. I also invite you to the place of breath work. You can do box breathing. This is what the Navy SEALs do, by the way, and it's easy. Okay, it's super easy. You take a breath in for 4 through your nostrils. You hold it for 4 counts, easy. Then you let it out, whooshing, making that noise with your mouth for 4 counts. 4, 4, and 4. And you do that 4 times. This automatically calms the cortisol and brings in some dopamine, some serotonin, maybe a little touch of oxytocin. Those are all the feel-good chemicals. And it calms us. Because a lot of us walk around with this raging cortisol. We're on steroids all the time. We think that our lives are on fire all the time. And when we do that, we get into cortisol overload and burnout and into anxiety. We just tip it over. You should be taking your B complex too, by the way, and you should be taking care of yourself and doing all the other things. But this is just the practical aspect, the practical things that you can do on a daily basis. And then the last thing is community. For heaven's sakes, we are not meant to do this life alone. We're meant to do it with others. We're pack animals, you know? We need each other. It's part of how we're built. So reach out, be a part of, don't isolate, don't Lone Ranger it. It won't help. You know, we're not meant for that. We're meant for so much more. And when we are giving with our gifts and getting back with other people's gifts, we become much more. It's an up-leveled experience, and we all get to enjoy it together. How about that? Don't you love that idea? I sure do. Anyway, this was what was on my mind today, and I want you to get to the place of stopping to living in the fear values. You know, we are actively searching for fear. Our brains do that automatically. But these steps put into our lives is what is going to make the difference, because it takes the fear out. I like that. Always use an eraser. Rub it out. Get rid of the fear. Thanks for joining me today. I appreciate that. And don't forget, I need some questions for tomorrow. Send them in to support@savingdinner.com. Question for Leanne on Friday. I will answer it tomorrow's show. And do not forget, go check out Saving Dinner, all new website. And I'm telling you, it's thebomb.com. I'm so proud of it. And I appreciate you so much for showing up. Peace be with you.
Thanks for watching. You can find us on YouTube on the Saving Dinner channel or on the Saving Dinner Facebook page. Check back daily for new episodes, Monday to Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. If you missed the live show, you can watch the replay. Until next time, pinkies up.